loss is never easy. Down Louisiana way, they handle theirs a little different. First, of course, they mourn, but it's what comes next that separates them from most. It's that second line where the healing takes hold. Behind the procession, the second line leads a family and friends to celebration. And a reminder, even though you've experienced a loss, there's much more for you ahead. Welcome to SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express. It's a battle for the Golden Boot, Arkansas and LSU. And the 7th-ranked Tigers have an outside shot at the college football playoff. A New Year's Six bowl game could be in their future, but they need to finish perfect. And so the Tigers come on the road as one of the nation's best, despite not matching up with the nation's best last week against Alabama. LSU fell only to 7th, which means they still have a chance to get into the top 4 in the college football playoff. And if you're an LSU fan, you know what happened in 2007. Crazier things have indeed occurred. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. Cole Kubelik's down on the chilly field tonight. And if you are LSU, you're trying to find a way to get this offense going. They were shut out last week against one of the nation's best defenses. Yeah, you're trying to find a way to refocus and get rid of that emotional hangover. Now, this offense has struggled, but if you look back at the teams they played, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, Alabama, they've had tough sledding. I think this is a bounce-back game, a game they need to get the run established. They shore up the protection, give Joe Burrow some time to hit some plays downfield, get some confidence, and rebound. It's been a while since Joe Burrow threw a touchdown pass. They'd love to see the passing game come alive. It's been since the Ole Miss game when he threw 3 touchdowns and didn't throw a pick, but he does own 3 top 10 wins, and that is a metric that is going to be in LSU's favor down the stretch when the selection committee talks about their accomplishments this season. So the Tigers come in with an opportunity here to hit the reset button on their season, to finish strong and find a new lease on their football life under head coach Ed Orgeron. And what a finish it would be if they could do it. So on the other side, there's Arkansas, and their offense over the last 4 games has been absolutely magnificent. They're averaging nearly 30 points a game. Yeah, an offense that if you look back at the Alabama game, Arkansas really found some things. I think they found a way to get the running back the ball, the tight end involved. If they can replicate that, they got a chance to move the football. Let's hear what Coach Orgeron has to say. He's standing by with Cole.
Coach, your team came off a tough loss last week. Who did you rely on over the course of this week to have them ready?
You know, our guys like Nick Brissett, Devin White, Rashard Lawrence did a tremendous job of leading our football team. Greedy Wright, Grant Delman, and our assistant coaches. We've had a great week of practice. What a great atmosphere. We're looking forward to tonight.
Obviously, a lot still left to play for. What was the message to your team over the course of the week in practice and in the locker room before the game?
Yeah, let it go, man. Hey, this is a big game for us. We can get exactly where we want to go, have a great season. Arkansas is the first step.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Tigers.
All right, that's indeed the message of Coach Orgeron. Plenty to play for, and for Arkansas the same, because Rakeem Boyd and Cheyenne O'Grady have been on fire lately. Yeah, I mentioned Boyd and O'Grady just a second ago because we know how talented this LSU secondary is. There's not going to be many openings or windows for Ty Storey to throw the football. The more they can get the running back and the tight end matched up on linebackers, the more success this offense is going to have moving the football. Sam Morrison, offensive mastermind, set numerous records while he was the OC at Clemson, then went on as a head coach at SMU and rebuilt that program. LSU won the toss. They've elected to defer, so Arkansas will receive. And no return for the Razorbacks. You mentioned Ty Storey. He's an Arkansas native from Charleston, Arkansas, where he ran a very similar offense. He's already graduated, in fact, did that in May, kinesiology degree. Great athlete, all-state in both basketball and baseball out of Charleston High School for head coach Greg Kendrick. 58% on the season, 9 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's got Rakeem Boyd next to him in the backfield. And Boyd, first crack at it. Takes it across the right side before Glenn Logan finds him. It's a gain of 2. LSU a little banged up defensively. Brayton Fehoko is not expected to play in this one on that defensive line, and that'll be a big loss for them. They should also be without John Battle, who was injured the first play of the game against Alabama last week. So Ed Alexander moves into a starting role next to Rashard Lawrence. Arkansas's offense over the last 4 games has averaged 413 yards and 29 points a game. Big reason for that, as you mentioned, has been the play of Rakeem Boyd. He's been over 100 yards 3 of those 4 games, 423 yards total. Design quarterback run. Ty Story carrying Devin White with him. He's able to pick up 5 yards.
And already we've seen Arkansas on the first play of the game come out in an unbalanced set, which means the tackle was on the opposite side, 2 tackles on one side of the formation. And then now we see him come out in a 3-by-1 with a nub tight end, a tight end attached to the line of scrimmage. Talking to Dave Aranda, the LSU defensive coordinator, he said there's 1 or 2 things like a flavor of the week that Arkansas likes to do, and they're back out in this 3-by-1 with a nub. They're going to start to figure out how they need to defend this and what Arkansas wants to do.
Chase Hayden is now in at running back on 3rd and 7. Story pressured, and he got dropped on the blitz. It's a loss of 8. Kerry Vincent Jr. came flying in and maybe even untouched, and for some reason Story never felt him.
And just never saw Vincent coming off the right side. Wanted to move the ball to the left. In a 5-man protection there as a quarterback, you got to find that 4th or 5th rusher, see where the pressure's coming from, and either get rid of it on a hot throw or slide to protection in that direction.
Blake Johnson, is the punter for Arkansas. The junior gets away a short one. Went off of an Arkansas player, I believe. Arkansas thinks it went off LSU. It's a 38-yard punt, and the Tigers going to have great field position for quarterback Joe Burrow. Going against an Arkansas defense which has struggled. They've allowed scores on the opening drive for their opposition in 7 of their 9 games. Burrow hasn't thrown a touchdown pass since September 29th. Transferred in from Ohio State. His dad, Jimmy, is a defensive coordinator at Ohio University. They play midweek Maction. 2 brothers, both Cornhuskers. And Burrow's coming off of a tough game against Alabama, 18 of 35. Didn't throw a touchdown and threw a pick. He's got time here. And it is complete to Jamar Chase, who picks up an LSU first down. It must feel like almost like you're facing a lesser team. No disrespect to Arkansas, but just relative to the strength of the defenses that they've faced over the last month.
Yeah, it's been a tough month with the defenses that they face. That's why I love first play of the game. Steve Ensminger gets an easy hitch throw to the outside. Get Joe Burrow confident early in this game.
Next protection, he's going to lob one deep. He's got a man open. Justin Jefferson, touchdown LSU. A 40-yard strike from Burrow to Jefferson.
Just outline how he can beat you with his mind. And I was going to say favorable field position to take a shot. Something Steve Ensminger mentioned. They got to be more explosive. Got to take play action shots. Great position in the field to do so. And Jefferson just flat out beat his man.
LSU obviously had a plan to try and take advantage of the 105th ranked pass defense in college football. And of their first 5 plays, 4 of them have been in the air. Burrow throws his first touchdown pass since September 29th against Ole Miss. That had been a span of 13.5 quarters and 132 attempts.
And look at, you got a tight end and a running back in here. They're going to go heavy play action to the right side. Max protection, as I mentioned earlier. So the pocket's clean. Got a one-on-one matchup on the outside on Cameron Curl. Justin Jefferson, your best deep threat. And Burrow does a great job of just throwing a catchable ball. Really easy to try to put that one into the end zone, and you might overthrow a guy. Didn't try to get too cute. Great ball.
Midway through the first quarter. And LSU's up 7-zip.
C.J. O'Grady tight end backside. It's actually Grayson Gunter backside.
I was hoping you'd say Nub again. Story looking for the tight end, and he fell. So the turf monster has gotten a couple of guys thus far tonight. Home crowd thought it was helped by a push. But remember, Rakeem Boyd slipped in the backfield, and that time looked like he slipped coming out of his cut.
And it was O'Grady, 85, 89. Tough to see from up here, but O'Grady's a guy they want to get involved. And when you do that nub side, what that does, putting 3 receivers to one side, you kind of just play a 2-man game. You got your tight end and your running back backside. As I mentioned, 2 of their Ty Story's favorite targets. And you can kind of shorten the field. Go 2-on-2, work concepts that have a little more space.
2nd down 10 for Ty Story. Here's Rakeem Boyd. That must then simplify the read for the quarterback as well.
Absolutely. Ty Story has really had an up and down year. We've seen some highs in what he was able to do, putting up 31 points against Alabama. Even in a loss, there was a lot of positives. So the more you can simplify, and as I look at the film, the more creative you can get, the more that Chad Morris can really design plays to get certain guys the ball, the more confident Ty Story is throwing the football and going through his progressions.
By the way, you've already hit the over-under on Nub comments tonight. So now
and they're back. Oh, nope, they split out.
Yeah, just released. Michael Woods in motion. Here comes pressure from LSU. And Woods only got a hand on it. And Arkansas is going to have to punt it away. It's really hard to try and throw against this LSU defense, even without one of their leaders, John Battle, out there. Todd Harris had a monster game last week against Alabama. He was the first this season to intercept Tua Tagovailoa. Reed Bauer on to punt it away. Giles is deep for LSU. Beautiful kick that time from Bauer. Giles lost it, recovers, and will have nothing on the return. That was a 43-yard punt. 3 yards the wrong way on the return. Santos Ramirez with a special teams tackle. LSU's offense back on the field after a touchdown pass to get him on the board a moment ago. Here's Brissett trying to knife his way through. Pick up a 4 for the senior out of University High in Baton Rouge.
You go back to the huddle there because you want the element of surprise. And if you simply just rearrange people, then the defense will get a chance to adjust a little bit quicker, and you might not have that advantage. And right there, they wanted the linebacker to be tucked inside so they could hit the free access slant, and it worked by going quick after the huddle.
Ball came loose on the snap. Burrow recovers. And he's taken down. A sack for Arkansas after the snap issue. Michael Taylor, the second, with his first sack of the season. It's a loss of 5.
And Lloyd Cushenberry, the center here, gives a good snap. Burrow just pulls his hands out a little early. As a quarterback, you don't want to split your hands. So as a right-handed quarterback, that left hand has got to press the wrist together of your right hand so that ball doesn't spit out. And a crucial mistake now setting up a 3rd and long.
3rd down 11. Burrow looking right side, flushed, can't escape. Back-to-back sacks for Arkansas. Armon Watts gets him that time. Watts is a team leader in sacks. That's his 7th.
You're going to see Watts here working a double team, and this is a problem that we saw against Alabama with Quinnen Williams on the inside. There's 3 LSU defensive linemen there for 2 interior defensive linemen. You got to be able to block those guys on the interior, and Armon Watts just continues to play through the initial block. Does a great job of finishing that off on 3rd down.
That is the end of the first quarter.
So the Arkansas defense trying to give the home team some momentum. Sacks on consecutive plays. LSU will punt when we start the 2nd quarter.
We're the 189th Airlift Wing, Arkansas Air National Guard from Little Rock Air Force Base. And we just want to say, go Hawks! Beat LSU!
Got a Razorback on that plane. That's big time.
Think that was hand painted or is it like a sticker helmet?
Might be a decal. They could probably come off at 500 miles an hour, I guess.
Yeah.
So LSU to punt it away. Zach Van Rosenberg, the 28-year-old former minor league player, gets it away to Stewart. And Stewart with just a couple on the return. Rakeem Boyd picks up 3.
Boyd's going to come out. Chase Hayden's going to come in at running back, but they got to get this ground game going. Just 1 first down so far in this game. They've tried the misdirection. They've worked the tight ends. They got to get the ground game going early in drives to set their third downs up a little shorter than they've been.
They average 176 yards on the ground, a top 60 rushing offense. Story off the play action finds Deion Stewart. He is undercut immediately and is only able to find 3 yards. Gary Vincent with another stop for LSU.
If you notice, there's not many traditional routes on the outside that Arkansas is going to attempt tonight. There's a reason. There's a couple good guys on the outside. One of them, number 29, Greedy Williams. You don't want to throw at him at all. He's going to be down here at the bottom. Christian Fulton at the top. The secondary is scary. So the more Arkansas can work underneath, the safer they're going to be.
Unbalanced to the right now. And they got a new quarterback in, and they'll go with the end around and nothing doing. Arkansas trying to get creative. And Deion Stewart goes down for a loss of 7. Razorbacks turn to Cole Kelly that time.
You know, I understand what they're trying to do there, right?
Yeah.
You bring in Cole Kelly, the gravedigger package, right? Third and short to medium there. You might be thinking quarterback run, but in order to do that, you got to put him in the gun. Right, if he's in the shotgun there, LSU's got to seriously think it's going to be quarterback run, something downhill, and then the reverse or misdirection might have a little bit more effect. Under center there, I don't think you get the same thing.
Reed Bauer to punt it away again. And a fair catch taken at the 23. Let's.
Probably not.
Here's Clyde Edwards-Helaire off the right side for 5.
The guy did get him a national championship. I mean,
if you're going to listen to anybody,
yeah.
He'd be one of them. Cole is conspicuously silent when this Auburn subject comes up.
Well, after the way Cam played Thursday night against the Steelers, I don't know if anybody wants his input.
Ooh, it's a Steelers fan talking. 2nd down 5 for Joe Burrow, transfer from Ohio State. Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Ohio at Athens High School. Edwards-Helaire can only find 1, maybe 2. Hayden Henry at a Little Rock's Pulaski Academy in on the stop. And that'll leave 3rd down for LSU.
Think about this Arkansas defense. They've underachieved for sure. And they've been porous at times. But there's some good players on that side of the ball. McTelvin Agim, Armon Watts, Scooter Harris, Dre Greenlaw, Santos Ramirez. They got 4 or 5 guys that are playing at a really high level. So if you allow them to stick around in this game, they're going to keep making plays.
LSU has not been good on 3rd down, 94th in the country in conversions this season. On 3rd and 3, they get a big one. Edwards-Helaire just got to the line. Armon Watts had him wrapped up. But it'll be a fresh set for Joe Burrow and company.
Boy, big push from the middle of that LSU offensive line, especially center Lloyd Cushenberry, who, guys, we talked to the coaching staff at LSU yesterday, and offensive coordinator Steve Ensminger said he's probably the MVP of this football team. Now, you put the film on outside of last week against Alabama, which, listen, the best defensive player in college football wears 92 for Alabama. He makes everybody look bad. Cushenberry's had a heck of a year.
LSU was heavy pass early. Now they're grinding it out on the ground. Nick Brissett just re-entered. And he's able to pick up 6. They've now run it twice as many times as they've thrown it over 21 plays.
That's really what we need to see out of this LSU offense. I mean, they're best when the running game is going and the pass game can rely on the play action. The reason we've seen inconsistencies from Joe Burrow is at times they've had to max protect. They've had to only run 2 or 3 guys in routes, and The windows haven't been there. The play action when the run's going is when this pass game's at its best.
Here's Brissett again. Another first down on the ground. Mario Bell stops him after a gain of 7.
Boy, Cole pointed out Lloyd Cushenberry and this interior offensive line for LSU right now getting a ton of push. I would keep feeding this offensive line. I'd keep feeding the running backs. It's a really good drive they got going.
Ninth play of the drive. Brissett behind Foster Moreau, the tight end, picks up 2. Hayden Henry, the tackle. We're talking about Foster Moreau a bit this weekend, and it's a real change for him within the scope of this offense. Matt Canada used the tight ends a lot. Shifts, motions, got them lined up. Got them to be advantageous. That's kind of gone the way of the dodo this year.
Yeah, he's much more of a blocker. He had 8 multi-reception games last year. He was involved in runs. He was more involved in the pass game. Just 2 games this year where he's had more than 1 catch. So not as utilized, but still effective.
Just 3 out in the route, and the pass is complete to Justin Jefferson, who has a touchdown catch today. That one goes for 16.
Just 3 on the route, but you see how the run game opens it up. Deep, heavy play action there. A lot of extra time for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it's the play action. You're going to have a deep post on the left side of your screen. If you suck those linebackers up, it creates a great sweet spot about 10 to 20 yards for that deep over, and that's right where Justin Jefferson was.
That was the first pass of the drive, goes for 16. Play number 11 on this drive for LSU. Back to the ground. Brissett finds 2. Briston Guidry out of Kenner, Louisiana. Archbishop Rumble in on the stop. Arkansas has a few Louisiana guys on their roster, including Dejon Harris, a star middle linebacker. Arkansas loads up the line. They got 5 on the line of scrimmage. Burrow on a draw is going to bounce it to the outside. And he goes tumbling down after a gain of 2. Santos Ramirez in a flag after the fact. Michael Taylor came in late. And that's going to cost Arkansas after they had LSU backed up. LSU would have been looking at a 3rd and about 13.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 91, late hit.
Yeah, Burrow's a runner here, but the indicator, you lower the crown of your helmet and you make forcible contact to the head or neck area. You can see it clip the back of Burrow's helmet. You may not like it, but as a runner's going down, those are the hits that need to be out of the game. And that's why they enforce it.
Corner blitz. Brissett going the opposite way. And he's taken down by Dre Greenlaw and Dejon Harris.
You know, some of these targetings are avoidable, and some of them you feel for the players, right?
Yeah.
The bang bang when the receiver's changing his height, they're coming down, but that one, you got a guy going to the ground, you don't chase him to the ground, especially not lowering your head. You got to dive over him, you got to have some self-control.
And remember, when a quarterback runs, he's no longer afforded any special protection to come with the position, but I think it's more obvious when it's a quarterback running.
Absolutely is, yeah. Absolutely is. You got to have an alert going up when it's a quarterback that's going to the ground.
14th play of the drive for LSU. Here's Brissett straight up the gut. Got some help and takes it inside the 5. Turns his way to the goal line. And he is in on a physical 12-yard run.
This touchdown in the stat column is going to go under Nick Brissett. But watch Garrett Brumfield, watch Sadiq Charles, Lloyd Cushenberry in there. That offensive line is as responsible. Foster Moreau, everybody pushing Brissett into the end zone.
A 14-play drive. 13 of those 14 plays were runs.
There's a statement, huh?
Yeah. And that's how you get a team ready to bounce back, right? You just return to the simplest part of the game.
Nothing gets you more confident than just exerting your will over a defense. And that's what 13 out of 14 runs on a drive looks like.
There's almost 7.5 minutes of smash mouth football for the LSU Tigers. And on the road at Arkansas, they've opened up a 14-0 lead. Chestnut Hill is lit tonight. How about game day? They made the trip up there. Looked a little chilly. I think we got them matched here today. We didn't get any lobster. 14-0 LSU leads Arkansas. Corner blitz coming. LSU brings 4. And they get to him. Story lost the football. LSU falls on it. It is ruled a fumble recovery in LSU football with 31 seconds left. Grant Delpit recovered it. Michael Divinity Jr. hacked it out of Story's hand.
And Arkansas trying to take a deep shot. Story does a good job of buying some time here initially as he looks left, looks right, pressure comes, escapes. But as a quarterback, when you escape the pocket, you can't stop your feet. You cannot. That ball has got to be thrown on the run. Divinity does a great job coming from the opposite side of the field of continuing to rush with speed and strip that ball away. Can never pull up and stop your feet as a quarterback scrambling outside the pocket.
LSU top 5 in the country in turnover margin. And they get another takeaway. An opportunity for Joe Burrow to add another score before the half. All-out blitz coming for Arkansas. Burrow taken down. Loss of football. Dre Greenlaw scoops it up. And Greenlaw forced out of bounds by Nick Brissett. McTelvin Agim forced the fumble. And the Razorbacks have another opportunity. And Burrow limping off for LSU.
Arkansas saying right back at you. They bring pressure, and Agim does a great job rushing past the quarterback, getting back into position. And boy, Greenlaw is an athlete. I thought he was going to go. Good thing for LSU. They tracked him down.
So after 2 plays, Arkansas is able to get it deeper into LSU territory than they have all night. Their own fumble and then LSU.
Yeah, like they just hit a big pass play. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Cole Kelly in the game now.
They gained 31 yards on that exchange. They faked the end around. Kelly looking deep. Chucks it to the end zone. It is incomplete. Contact between Christian Fulton and Cheyenne O'Grady, and no penalty flag. And Fulton is slow to get up.
Boy, they run the complimentary play. Last time we saw Cole Kelly and they fake the reverse. This time they fake it, throw the play action. I tell you what, Cole Kelly is not afraid to throw it up. And the hand fighting with Christian Fulton and Cheyenne O'Grady, man, he couldn't get his hands up. And got him right in the face in that one. That's the thing, a lot of hand fighting. That ball was up in the air for what felt like an eternity. That's like a center fielder. You lose it in the light sometimes. I mean, you take your eyes off it, you try to find it again, and O'Grady just a little late.
Ty Story back in a quarterback. LSU brings 4. Story over the middle. Caught! And a first down for Jared Cornelius with 6 seconds left on the clock. It's a 27-yard strike. Timeout taken by Arkansas here. That is a big play for Ty Story. Came with the pocket collapsing.
Boy, one thing offensive coordinator Joe Craddock said is that Ty Story has been holding the football a little too long. If it's not there, tuck it and run, but does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield just before he might think he's got to tuck in and run, and finding Cornelius on a deep dig route. Boy, Cornelius pushed that about 20 yards downfield. That's about as deep as a dig route will go. It takes a long time to develop. Quarterbacks got to be patient. But what a ball.
And so the senior Jared Cornelius had a Shreveport with a 27-yard gain. Just his 6th catch of the season. And now they'll put Stewart in motion. Looking end zone, fires. It's batted down. 1 second left. Grant Delpit knocked it down.
Boy, that is close. That's the dangers of going on the run as a quarterback with only 6 seconds. If he holds that a tick longer, or that ball gets batted up into the air, half's over.
Yep.
And you don't even have a chance for a field goal.
It's a very active LSU secondary. One of the best in the country. 24-yard attempt now for Connor Limpert. And he got it in. Curled it just inside the upright. And Arkansas finds some points late. That was a 4-play, 27-yard drive. It was helped out by the fumble recovery after they traded fumbles. Connor Limpert, 17-21 in the season. One of 20 semifinalists for the Lou Groza Award. This one started left and curled back in. Big start for LSU. They've turned to their ground game time and again they lead 14-3. And Ogeron standing by with Cole Kublik.
Coach, a lot happening there towards the end of the half. Couple turnovers. How do you temper the emotions coming out of halftime?
Yeah, we keep on playing. Defense is playing great, making a lot of big plays. We got to protect the quarterback. That was a bad play on the offense. We shouldn't have gave that ball up at the end. But you know what? Give credit to Arkansas. This is going to be a hell of a game, hell of a second half.
Run game's been dominant. What does that do for your football team?
Yeah, we got to run the football. We got to run the football better. We got to establish the line of scrimmage, take some time off the clock. We expect to do it again in the second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Tigers.
35 plays in the first half for LSU. 26 of them runs. It's a 14-3 lead for the Tigers. Let's get you to the studio. Doring, and Chiz. Welcome back to SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express. Joe Burrow threw his first touchdown pass in over a month to get the scoring started for Ed Ogeron's team. They're looking for a bounce-back victory after getting shut out last week. Meanwhile, Ty Story in Arkansas found some late offense. And Chad Morris's squad looking for his signature win here in his first season. Welcome back. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. Only 17 points scored in the first half. But that was a wildly entertaining half. We had a lot of stuff going on.
And wildly entertaining at the end of the half with the 2 turnovers and Arkansas pushing it downfield. To me, the story of this game has been LSU. The offensive line running the football, obviously opening up the deep strike for Joe Burrow. The offense looks good.
LSU has relied on its run game in a big way. They've run 35 plays tonight, 26 of them coming on the ground after they were pass heavy early. It is a chilly night, right about freezing. And after Arkansas had some footing issues early on, they seem to have solved that. Fair catch taken by Nick Brissett at the 10-yard line. Let's go down the field, check in with Cole Kublik.
Tom spoke to Chad Morris on what he wants to see in the second half. He did mention, obviously, we have to be better against the run with the success that LSU has had. But he said running the football is going to be instrumental for Arkansas. He wants to see Rakeem Boyd be more involved. Said he thought they were very close to busting off a couple of big runs with him in the first half.
Boyd 7 carries for 22 yards, and he has been wildly productive for Arkansas over the last 4 games in a 4-game stretch where they're averaging nearly 30 points per game.
Yeah, they got to get him going. Got to get him going out of the backfield as well, throwing the football to him.
You want to throw on first down, complete to the perimeter, and Justin Jefferson, who has a touchdown catch for LSU tonight. Ryan Pulley in the coverage.
Same way they started the first quarter. Yeah, throw, hitch route, stop route on the outside. What that does for an offense is you're not going to get a ton of yards, but that little seed in the defensive coordinator's mind for Arkansas of, okay, they're going to throw the ball. I got to make sure I expand my linebackers, not stack everybody into the box. That'll help the run game out.
John Chavis, the SEC veteran, defensive coordinator, first year here at Arkansas. Brissett finds 4 yards. Talking with Chavis yesterday, the biggest thing that Arkansas is looking for, the one constant that he has had in his great defenses, and he loves to point out the job that Al Wilson did for Tennessee in 1998, is to have a leader defensively. There's Chief in the glasses, middle of the screen. His boyhood buddy Kevin Steele directing the defense for Auburn tonight, that big game against Georgia. 3rd and 2. They're going to throw it on 3rd and 2 to a slant and off the hands of Jamar Chase. And LSU will be forced to punt. Throwing Ryan Pulley's way again. What do you think about that play call?
Exact same play we saw. Remember when they were quick to the line of scrimmage, huddled again, came back out and threw the slant? That's the exact same play without the semantics of the huddle there. Ball was a little behind the slant. Last slant throw for Burrow was a little high, but out in front of the receiver. Really tough for a receiver to make that catch on his back hip on a slant route, breaking to the middle of the field.
Deion Stewart back to receive along with Jared Cornelius. Fair catch asked for at the 25 by Stewart. 43-yard punt. This is what Arkansas's offense looked like in the first half. A field goal late after they had the best field position of the game, after both teams traded turnovers. But otherwise, it's been a very busy day for the punter, Reed Bauer.
Yeah, they can't get the run game going, and then when they do try to protect and push the ball downfield, they haven't been able to hold up and long enough. LSU's done a great job of disrupting at the line of scrimmage, something that Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator, mentioned. They haven't been as disruptive up front as he'd like them to be, or as they've been in the past. And Caleb Chason, injured early in the season, a great pass rusher.
On the other side for Arkansas, Ty Storey in the quarterback run game has been so key this season, and he has yet to really get it going. 4 carries, only 7 yards. We had a chat with him about it yesterday. And the fine line for a quarterback is that one is incomplete. Trying to find Cornelius. The fine line, Jordan, in carrying the ball, taking off on quarterback runs, and protecting yourself.
Yeah, Ty Storey's a guy that, I mean, he's gritty. He's tough. He's going to take on a linebacker at the end of a run if he needs to get 1 or 2 extra yards. We obviously saw that make him pay for it. Was that Auburn or Ole Miss? Which game was that? He got the
that
concussion.
was the Ole Miss game.
The Ole Miss
he took
game.
a lot of hits in there.
Yeah, could have got out of bounds, didn't, got the concussion. So I asked him, very straightforward, does that mean you're going to slide more? He said, no, not necessarily.
And here he is trying to run, and he gets bear hugged and swallowed up by Ed Alexander. No gain.
Look, he's the kind of quarterback that's going to do anything for his team. You love that kind of guy, but it does come with its risks. He's going to get banged up. He's going to stay in the pocket at times longer than he should, when he should use his feet or he should find a check down. It's going to pay off sometimes, as it did there late in the half, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, we've had him in 2 previous games this season, and both times he's been a human pinata. That Auburn game, his jersey turned green. He got knocked out on the other game against Ole Miss early. Cole Kelly had to finish that one up for him. 3rd down 10, blitz, and there's another hit. Grant Delpit very gently put Storey down on the turf, and a little bit of dance to follow. It's a loss of 8.
And this is something that Ty Storey's got to start to see. Grant Delpit's the adjuster. He's going to be all over the field. But Ty Storey's got to notice this safety right here, low to the line of scrimmage, which means you're going to get pressure on the outside. He just never sees this one looking to the right side of the field. When that safety's low, probably means he's going to push and cover the slot guy. If he's high, usually don't have as much to worry about. Got to notice those things.
6th punt of the game for Bauer, the freshman from Magnolia, Texas. This one comes down in Arkansas territory, and we'll cross over the midline. It rolls into a 42-yard punt. Pressure from Grant Delpit, who has been all over the field for LSU tonight. On a chilly night in Northwest Arkansas, LSU's offense back to work, leading 14-3. End around, and Jefferson got past the first guy before Cameron Curl brought him down.
What a play by McTelvin Agim there. I mentioned it earlier. He's 280 pounds, and he just changed direction and caught up. I mean, that was impressive. He's a big man that doesn't move like a big man. A great play to not lose contain here. As you can see, he starts in to take on the fullback, and then he's able to recover and get Justin Jefferson to turn inside. He looks like a 250-pound defensive end at times.
Here comes a corner blitz. Burrow got rid of it quickly. It goes for a 1st down after he took a shot. Precision pass under pressure from Joe Burrow.
So I love that. I mean, when you watch Joe Burrow on film, there's one word that comes to mind, and it's composure. Watch him stare down this blitz and not even flinch. to stay calm under pressure, to stay composed like that, you can't learn that. You either have it or you don't.
Eight of 12 on the game. Play action. Wide open is Justin Jefferson. He bends it to the outside, and with a stiff arm, he finds another 15 yards. How about yards after catch and contact that time? And Jefferson's over the century mark.
And this was impressive because against Alabama, they'd go max protect, and when nobody was there, Joe Burrow would force a throw. He started to the left, tried to hit a vertical route, and comes back to the opposite side of the field and hits Jefferson for a big gain.
5 catches, 103 for Jefferson, including a touchdown.
Something we just didn't see last week. I know it's a different opponent, but
Clyde Edwards-Helaire pauses, breaks free, and punches it in. 13-yard touchdown run. And something else we didn't see last week. LSU was held scoreless, shut out by Alabama.
I mean, just look what the play action pass does to the run game, and vice versa. I mean, this offense is clicking on all cylinders because the run game is rolling. That means the pass game's more efficient. The big plays are there throwing the football, and then you can come back to the run and continue to pound it.
Cole Tracy's point after is good. The vision and the patience pay off for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And we take this opportunity to look at some of the courageous soldiers from around the globe proudly showing off their school pride. LSU and Arkansas. And we thank you all for your service. LSU, 7th ranked team in the country, leading Arkansas 21-3. New Year's Day bowl game is in the crosshairs for this LSU team, and perhaps a chance to get in the college football playoff. And need some help down the way, and got some help on this touchdown run. Story throws on the run, and the wobbler gets knocked away. Greedy Williams is there. DBU is alive and well for LSU.
It's just not fair. It's not fair when you have the instincts that Greedy Williams has. And oh, by the way, you're 6'3". I mean, it's just not fair.
5th pass broken up by this LSU defense. Williams, one of 14 finalists for the Jim Thorpe Award. Over the middle, complete for a first down. Back to the tight end, Cheyenne O'Grady. They went to high school just a couple blocks away at Fayetteville High School.
Must have been an emphasis at half. Joe Craddock mentioned, the ops coordinator for Arkansas, when we met with him just yesterday, when LSU gets in a too high look, and they're not in it much, they want to attack the middle of the field. 2 safeties on that one, attack the middle of the field. Now LSU back in that traditional 1 safety look. Grant Delpit up high.
And this Arkansas offense finally has a possession that possesses more than 1 first down.
You know, Boyd, I first got to know him watching Last Chance U on Netflix. I was a junior college kid myself, so have a lot of appreciation about what it takes to take a step from junior college to the SEC, how different the game is, and more importantly, just how much you appreciate the amenities, everything you get, the food in the nutrition center. And he's a guy that's hungry to help this team out and as appreciative as his opportunity as anybody.
Devin White put the hit on Craddock. Boyd out there to pick up a couple. What are those wafers that you always steal from every nutrition stop in the league?
What are those called? Why am I forgetting?
Stingers.
There.
Stingers.
Oh,
That's so good.
Oh my gosh, the caramel
You take
Stingers.
that 5-finger discount every time we show up in it.
Absolutely.
There's Boyd with the shake after White brought the pressure. 3rd and 9.
Arkansas back in this nub set. O'Grady down here. Would like to go quarterback run out of that set, but in 3rd and long, I think they're going to throw the ball to the top of the screen here as they get to a bunch formation.
Devin White coming on the blitz. Story on the quarterback draw is able to find a couple. Rashard Lawrence brought him down. And if that's 4-down territory, certainly makes sense why you would run it there, and they will indeed keep the offense on the field.
Boy, Story cut that up a little sooner. Might have had a lane if he keeps that out to the C gap where it's designed, but manageable 4th down here.
They've only gone for it four times on 4th down this season. LSU brings 4, and they get to him. Glenn Logan with the sack, his 2nd of the year.
Boy, and that delayed pressure from the 2nd level has absolutely been killing Arkansas. It wasn't even the blitz that got there, but it's the old lineman coming off. You can see there Brian Wallace comes off to the pressure, the nickel that's blitzing on the outside, and leaves Glenn Logan unblocked. That's the thing. Sometimes pressure doesn't always hit home, but it creates confusion, and somebody's going to capitalize on it.
Tigers! LSU! Go Tigers!
Burrow lets it go. Beautiful comeback route. And that's good for an LSU 1st down on the completion to D. Anderson. Talk about being on the same page.
That's a great job by Burrow. They want to take another shot. They're going deep here on Ryan Pulley. A little bit of a double move by D. Anderson. Doesn't get over the top, so Burrow does a smart thing. Throws a back shoulder. I even love the fact that he didn't try to get too cute with it, right? He didn't try to be too perfect. He said, you know what? I don't care if he stops. He's going to catch the ball. That's how over the top Ryan Pulley was. Great decision. Nice accurate throw by Burrow.
Cole's got something interesting down there.
Guys, we've gone digital even inside of these football helmets. So what this does has a sensor deep down inside the helmet underneath the padding. It measures G-force and rotation. So not only does it measure where the helmet's getting hit, but also rotation on the helmet. Also measures where the hits are taking place on the helmet. So a lot of different measurements are taken into account. One thing that they have found over the last few years studying this is that over the week of game preparation in practice, they're taking more hits than they would in an actual game in individual practices. So it's really helped them know when to back off, know if players are ducking their heads and hitting with the wrong parts of their helmets. They have that actual conversation with individual players. Pretty cool stuff when you think about technology and player safety for the LSU training staff and equipment staff.
Jack Marucci's at the forefront of a lot of different stuff, not just making bats, but he's been fantastic, and he's been at it a long time. Arkansas comes with pressure and slippage from Brissett. Saw Arkansas slipping on that side of the field early in this game. So there's a look at it. You can see inside the hole and see the glowing light. So you know what would get me in trouble? You know how often I lose my phone charger when I travel? My helmet would never be charged.
Yeah, it only helps if it's actually working.
Yeah.
But pretty cool because you can't stop the problem until you understand it and understand how much practice affects concussions and how much hits players are actually taking. You can start to really understand and help prevent it.
On 3rd and 4, they're going to run it, and Burrow stayed in bounds and got up the sideline to get a few extra yards. Probably 3rd and 14, and about an 8-yard gain that time.
Design quarterback run here. It's just a quarterback power, quarterback lead. Nick Brissett is the lead blocker, and yeah, it looks like he stepped out of bounds. Oh, no, look at that. Doesn't. I think he even thought he might have.
Burrow ballerina in a former life. 40-yard attempt for Tracy, who leads the SEC in field goal percentage. The transfer from Division II Assumption College. More field goals than anyone else in college football in his career. And he's able to split the uprights again. 3-touchdown lead for LSU. And Tracy, who leads the league in scoring, adds another triple to his name. 24-3 Tigers.
The one thing I'm thinking about when you look at that matchup, there were 2 or 3 times he got up really gingerly, like that knee was not good, took a couple unnecessary hits. The health of Tua Tagovailoa is going to be the most important thing that this college football committee is going to have to talk about, and this nation is going to be holding their breath.
I think gingery is your Moscow Mule. So who's in? Next rankings release occur on Tuesday, and we've talked about LSU having an outside shot. We had a great conversation with our buddy Jacob Hester last night at the LSU team hotel, and talking about the opportunity that's in front of LSU. You know, that national championship team in 07 got a ton of help. This is what they're playing for. The boot is on the line, and LSU trying to retain it. 36 degrees. Well, that's just balmy.
It's got to be colder than that.
That's what I
don't believe it.
It's fake news. Here's Boyd taken down behind the line of scrimmage. He went down hard, and Rakeem Boyd reaching for his hamstrings. LSU in front of Arkansas. You bought electric socks today. How's that working out for you?
One glove on two. I realized I didn't undo my scarf. Whatever, it's cold. I got a hand warmer in here. It's a little chilly.
You're a disaster right now.
I'm going to say not worth the $50.
Yeah,
no. The electric socks are good thought, but not worth the 50.
You're such a California kid. I hope both you and Cole kept your receipts from the electric socks. Shout out to our friends at New Balance. You did a fantastic job, despite what Mr. Rogers may say. 3rd and 10. LSU brings 4, but their 4th is a key one, and it's over the middle and complete. LaMichael Petway finally gets tripped up deep in the secondary by Terrence Alexander. It's a gain of 21.
Tell you what, just like that play right before half where we saw Ty Storey step up in the pocket and hit a deep dig route, there are flashes where Ty Storey looks really good. Had Devin White pressuring him, slid to his left, stepped up in the pocket, and again, a strike on a deep dig route.
Again over the middle. The tight end with the grab. And a late flag after that completion to Grayson Gunner, the sophomore out of Madison, Mississippi.
There are 2 fouls on the play. We have illegal substitution against the defense, 12 players. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 11. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Terrence Alexander trying to bring down O'Grady. Got up there with the left hand. Or pardon me, Gunter, the tight end on the 23-yard catch.
Got to close this drive out now if you're Arkansas. A theme for this program in general on and off the field is learning how to finish. Chad Morris reiterates that ad nauseum to this program. Got to finish here.
Here comes Devin White again. Knocked away. Jacoby Stevens defending Jared Cornelius.
All right, guys, here's what you have going on from an injury perspective for LSU. Todd Hare still on the training table, having his ankle examined. He's already had it retaped. Christian Fulton had his ankle examined when he came off just before halftime. Haven't seen him in since halftime. And Kelvin Joseph is nursing a hamstring. At least that's what the trainers are paying attention to over on the sideline for the LSU secondary.
And Cole, it seems like you're chilly.
It's cold. I'm still mad about how much I paid for the batteries to go in these socks.
It's not just the socks, it's the batteries too. Story with a laser, and he fits it in, but no gain. Cheyenne O'Grady.
The socks were $50. Each sock takes 3 batteries. The batteries were $13.99.
For 6 AA batteries.
$65 to have my feet just still be kind of cold. What a ripoff.
Yeah, well,
that's my own fault.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Should have just stuck with the 100% wool that Rhonda at Bass Pro Shops tried to lead me to.
Yep, shout out to Rhonda, employee of the month at Cabela's. 4-man rush again, and that one is snapped away. You mentioned the kind of delayed blitz, and Cole, I want your input on this too. They're only bringing 4, but that 4th is many times Devin White, who's coming up with a 4-yard head start. You're not sure where he's coming from. What makes that so difficult?
Very rarely will Dave Aranda rush 4 defensive linemen. He'll mix and match his linebackers coming from depth, and you mentioned sort of a trigger blitz. He'll wait to see who stays in to help in protection. Then that blitz comes late. So oftentimes as an offensive lineman, you shift your focus somewhere else because that linebacker looks like he's staying in coverage, and then boom, he comes from that backside gap, and you've shifted your attention the opposite direction.
Yeah, offensive linemen come up, they find the 4 down, find the mic, and then all of a sudden after the snap, they got to figure things out on the fly, and that's when mistakes happen. That's why it's so effective.
Here comes pressure. Story lets it go. End zone. Jump ball. Caught! Touchdown, Razorbacks. A little trash talk from Cheyenne O'Grady after he caught it right over the top of Jacoby Stevens.
4th down, finds your playmaker. Right now, nobody on this offense today is making plays except for Cheyenne O'Grady. 6'4", 250-pound target. You get him matched up one-on-one with the safety, Jacoby Stevens. That's where you want to go. And Ty Story does a great job of throwing up a ball that's 50-50 and letting Grady go get it.
Connor Limpert on for the point after. And Lippert bangs it through. Arkansas down 2 touchdowns, 12:37 to go in this one.
It's great. They line up O'Grady in the slot, have kind of an outside release, ends up being a rub play. That's how he gets position on Stevens, and big man just comes down with it. Great catch.
For O'Grady, his 5th touchdown reception of the season to lead all Arkansas receivers.
That's it.
LSU had 10 within 10 yards of the kick. And so special thanks to Michael. If you have his cell phone, just give him a text right now. Shoot him a text.
Blow him up.
Yeah, blow him up. You can do the same with Derek Bonamsky if you want to. He's from Lake Charles in his 18th year as a communications director here and a graduate of LSU. So thank you, Michael, and all of the sports information directors that we deal with on a regular basis. And with all of his travel, certainly also thanks to his wife, Robin, and his 3 sons, Peyton, Grant, and Max. Although Robin has to explain why she named her first son after a certain Tennessee quarterback.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic, 1st down.
Great second effort on this run by Nick Brossette. Blown up at first. Bounces it to the outside to pick up the 1st down. Would have picked it up without the face mask, but that'll help.
Arkansas comes with pressure from Greenlaw. They go the opposite way with Clyde Edwards-Helaire to pick up of 2. What a job by Ed Orgeron's team and Dave Aranda's unit on the defensive side of the ball. Great visit with the LSU coaching staff yesterday. We asked Dave Aranda what he would be doing if he wasn't coaching, and the answer just surprised none of us. He said, I'd be a professor. Yeah, philosophy major in high school. Had an opportunity to go to a number of different divinity schools. He said, but I couldn't turn down the rush of football. Burrow, pressure, leads it. and lets it go to the sideline, complete for an LSU first down. Justin Jefferson on a gain of 13. There's Dave Aranda. He was on the Texas Tech staff right when Mike Leach first got there. He was a graduate assistant, and he said, I got used early on to kind of, I don't know, I guess being an outsider, not being normal, because that was not a normal staff.
Not at all.
I mean, you got the pirate lover heading it, and then you had all these head coaches who had all these different designs on offense. And what an incredible incubator that must have been when you're sitting in meeting rooms with Art Briles and Dana Holgerson and Ruffin McNeil, and your scout team quarterback is Sonny Cumbie, and the starting quarterback is Cliff Kingsbury, and there's coach upon coach upon coach in that room.
What a melting pot of philosophies. I mean, you oftentimes see coaching staffs just kind of send branches out, and all those people that were together at one point were successful. You see it in the Saban tree, you see it at LSU back in the day. These coaches that are at a kind of the forefront of something new ideas end up spreading and being successful coaches wherever they go. Pretty interesting, that mix of coaches, though.
Especially if you're going to be a guy on the defensive side. Burrow off the hands of his tight end, Ja'Cory Washington. Take another peek at another takeaway for LSU.
Yeah, look at this. They're going to work the post here at the bottom of your screen. Safety Jacoby Stevens is flat, and that ball needs to be thrown out here. If that ball is thrown in that window there, towards the middle of the field, maybe towards the opposite hash, that ball could be completed. Instead, it's not even thrown inside the near hash. That ball has got to be to the middle of the field on a post. That's what you're taught. That's a big play that Arkansas missed, and a heck of a play by Vincent on the outside to bring that one down.
3rd down 11. Burrow taken off straight up the middle, and he gets tripped up by Dre Greenlaw. And LSU's going to be 1.5 yards short. We're going to leave the offense on the field. 4th.
Yeah, go tempo. Catch him off guard.
They've run zone read off of this. They've run a quick handoff off of it.
Going to go zone read again.
Burrow gives it up, and Arkansas stops him and turns him over on downs with 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. The Razorbacks get a monster stop. Now, you could second guess that play call. You got Cole Tracy as your kicker, who's already hit a 54-yarder this season. And you could have perhaps punted to try and pin him deeper.
You're kind of in that no man's land, though. It's a little bit longer of a field goal. It's still in that range that Coach Ed Orgeron said he's comfortable with, but the way they've been running the football, I don't blame him for that. I really don't. I mean, the defense you have, you can trust, and it's still 2 scores.
They'll roll the pocket. Story delivers on time and on target. Pickup of 8 on 1st down to Deion Stewart.
Arkansas's got to start picking up the pace here. Good, easy completion to start the drive. Great job dragging his feet there. Deion Stewart, that'd been good in the NFL. Still don't know why college isn't 2 feet. Makes no sense.
They like to be different than that other game. LSU drops 8 on 2nd and 1. And still, Jared Cornelius gets open over the middle. 19-yard strike.
Boy, what a confident throw there by Ty Story. Works the right side of the field, comes back to the middle. Watch his eyes. Works far right, quickly comes back to the middle. If he waits any longer, doesn't pull the trigger, back to the middle late is never good, but how quickly he came off that and then let the ball rip. Good read, good throw.
Extra playing time for Jacoby Stevens at safety tonight. They go his direction. It is batted down, trying to get it to O'Grady. Todd Harris Jr. left with injury. Christian Fulton left with injury. And
Now Jacoby gets a chance to talk a little trash there. We saw that matchup where C.J. O'Grady came down with it in the end zone for the touchdown. Now Jacoby's like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll get you back.
Kerry Vincent Jr. seeing more time tonight. He's got a pick. LSU's played a lot of nickel tonight against Arkansas. And they stay in it here. Pressure coming from the edge. Story incomplete. And another injury. We've got a flag after the play. Came in real late after Cheyenne O'Grady was already down.
Yeah, O'Grady's been running his mouth a little bit, and Kerry Vincent just stood over him and stared at him there.
Ty Story has attempted 36 passes tonight. He's targeted O'Grady 13 times.
Jeez.
But he only has 5 completions.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense number 5. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down. That is number 5's first unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of the game.
And so Arkansas will be gifted another 15.
These are the things you got to clean up if you're LSU. If you're Ed Orgeron, you have to preach to your team not only how important it is to finish this season with the chances they still have in front of them, as we discussed earlier. You got to learn to close out games. You got to learn to have an increased focus and awareness in the fourth quarter. It's a 2-score game. If you stop them right there, momentum's gone from Arkansas. They're having a tough time.
Whoa, Story blown up. That ball is tipped and incomplete. Vincent had a chance at it. And once again, Ty Story stood tall in the face of pressure from Jacob Phillips.
That's the thing. They're hitting home when they want to. They're breaking up balls. They've been stout on defense all day. You can't have mental errors, get personal fouls, and give Arkansas yardage when you can do this.
One of those delayed blitzes that you mentioned earlier, Tom, right there for LSU.
Yeah, Jacob Phillips, formerly the #1 linebacker recruit in the country, a true sophomore. He's a heck of a player. He's also one of the highest rated linebackers in coverage in the nation. Not only are their DBs good, but their linebackers can cover as well.
Pressure coming. Story heaves it. Caught. O'Grady inside the 10. Backs his way down and gets over the goal line for an Arkansas score. And we've got a flag down at the goal line.
Little misdirection. They start O'Grady on one side of the ball. Runs a drag and kind of a wheel, turns upfield. Same play they ran against Alabama for a big gain as well. This time ends up being a touchdown. Boy, here we go. It's a ball game now.
O'Grady 2 touchdowns tonight. He had 2 against Alabama. And suddenly it is a 7-point game at Razorback Stadium. Ty Story to Cheyenne O'Grady. They've hooked up twice tonight. And they've got Arkansas on the brink of a major comeback in Fayetteville. LSU has allowed Arkansas to stick around. The Tigers went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, and Arkansas took advantage to make this a 1-touchdown game. 24-17.
That's where you start going armchair quarterback, right? I like the call the first time around. 4th and 1, you've been able to run the football. Don't get it, give up a touchdown. Now it looks like the wrong move.
After the unsportsmanlike penalty, LSU will have great field position. And it's going to be even better thanks to Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that strong return. From their 41-yard line, Nick Brissett trying to stretch it. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. Now Arkansas trying to find some momentum here late in the game. Steve Ensminger, second stint on this staff, hadn't been a full-time coordinator in 2 decades. Chad Morris's team trying to get the ball back.
Not only is that a loss, out of bounds. Now your second long.
Burrow fires to the edge, finds his tight end Torrey Carter, and Carter's brought down after a 6. LSU just 4 of 13 on 3rd down tonight.
They take the fullback Torrey Carter out of the game, bring another receiver in.
Blitz coming. Burrow fires, caught, first down LSU. Derek Dillon takes it for 13.
And again, under pressure, Arkansas brings some heat. Linebacker blitz. Joe Burrow stands in there, calm, collected, and delivers a strike on a short angle route by Derek Dillon on the outside. Great call. 3rd down. You get out in the bunch set. Dillon releases wide, cuts it back towards the middle of the field. Great call against man coverage, and an even better job by Burrow staying calm under pressure once again.
Arkansas only has 1 timeout remaining. Razorbacks had to use a pair of timeouts on 4th down plays. Brissett to the outside, just to the line of scrimmage. Timeout taken by Arkansas here, 3:14 to go. Burrow keeps it, finds the edge, has a first down, and LSU has a first down with Arkansas out of timeouts with 3:06 to go.
And that's a great play call. The reason I said get Burrow outside the pocket, because if it's not there, he'd have a chance to use his legs like he does so well. And why not just dial up number 9's number. Little misdirection. Foster Moreau, the tight end, came from one side with a great lead block from the left side to the right. And Burrow's a good athlete. He can run with the football. He's not your true dual threat guy, but he can make you miss, and he can get north and south. That's a big play for LSU now with under 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and that clock is rolling.
Nick Brissett gobbled up after a gain of 2. Even if they don't pick up another first down, Arkansas is going to have to go, you know, at least 80 yards without a timeout. They went for, yeah, you get a field goal, you're up 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Field goal in this thing is effectively over. If you're Arkansas, you got to try to hold the running back up. You got to go for the ball. Well, if I'm an LSU running back, you got to have 2 hands on that ball at all times. Get yards, hold onto the ball, kick a field goal if you have to, and get out of here.
Brissett, forget about the field goal. He's staying down to run the clock instead of taking the 7, which would have ended the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations that I like the savviness of going down, but I don't think that's one. I walk into the end zone there, go up 2 scores. Now LSU will be able to take a knee and end this one, so no harm, no foul either way. It's a smart heads-up play by a college kid, but I've seen it a few times in the NFL the past few weeks. Players going down to a knee like that.
So if you had Brissett on your fantasy team, just like
I'd
Todd
be mad.
Gurley, you'd be upset. He'll get it for you here. He goes down just shy of the line.
He does not want to score.
Oh, there's some folks very
what was the line on this
interested.
game?
13.5, I'm told.
Oh, boy. Wow. I mean, look at Burrow right now signaling to the sideline. Touchdown or no? Are you saying, are we sneaking? Or are we going to take it? What are we doing here? Because they're not going to take a knee here. You're going to give Brissett another chance.
A knee ends it, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Playing with fire, perhaps. Brissett.
And now that he's trying to get in, he won't. Of course.
An unbelievable sequence late with the game in hand. Nick Brissett twice goes down short of the goal line. The end result is all that matters for LSU. They improved to 8-2 on the season. Arkansas made a game of it late. With this point of credit to Chad Morris and his Arkansas team. They've had a tough schedule this season. They've had a tough year, but they've never stopped, and tonight was a great example.
That was a great example of a coach with a program in transition, learning, growing, and trying to figure out how to finish, because that team could have easily rolled over. The way this season has been going, they could have rolled over at 24-3, but they continued to fight back. Credit to LSU for closing it out, but a lot to build upon for Arkansas as well.
Let's hear what Ed Ogeron has to say. He's standing by with Cole.
Coach, your thoughts on how your team fought through the end of that game?
Good team win. You know, we won it at the end of the game. Give Arkansas credit. It was a tough battle. We won the game. We focused on winning the game. We're going home with a win.
Felt like a lot of that game. I watched almost 60 minutes of LSU football. You ran the ball well. You played good defense. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, we played good defense. We held them to maybe 30 yards rushing. I thought our offensive line blocked good at the end of the fourth quarter. We held the ball in the fourth quarter like we need to. Good team win.
I just have to ask your thoughts of not scoring the touchdown at the end of the game.
Say it again?
Your thoughts on Brissett not scoring the touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah, you know, we just run the clock out, you know, and we'll try to score the touchdown, but run the play out at the end and take a knee.
Thank you, Coach.
Go Tigers.
Ed Ogeron was just slightly off with his stat a moment ago with Cole. They held Arkansas to 16 yards rushing tonight.
That's good.
It's really good.
That's good.
They know what it's like. They were held to just 12 last week. So LSU's ground game was working with a couple of different guys. How much fun would it be in this college football season where it seems like everything's decided to have anarchy in the last 3 weeks? To put LSU or any team in their shoes in position to be among the top four.
Isn't that what we love about college sports? That's why we love college basketball and the tournament, because of chaos. I would love to see it. LSU's proven they're still a really good football team. They have an unbelievable resume. They're going to get a shot. We'll see.
Arkansas scored 14 unanswered in the fourth quarter, but LSU was able to salt it away. Our final score, 24-17, Tigers with the win. That's going to do it from us here in Fayetteville. Let's get you back to the studio with Dari and the gang.